Good evening and welcome to the main news. I am Tarilo Manameke with Noble Maungwa at the Sign Language Desk. We're coming to you live from our Pocket Hill studios.
And I'm Justin Mahlahla. Later on, we'll be joined from our Montrose studios in Bulawayo by Marilyn Ngwenya. Let's take a look at the leading stories that we are chasing tonight.
President Emmerson Mnangagwa caps 126 students at Gwanda State University.
And in other news, the United Nations International Conference ends in Switzerland with calls to end illegal sanctions.
And in business, government focuses on value addition in the tobacco industry.
In sport, we'll give you an update on the ZIFA election, so stay tuned for that.
But for now, let's take a look at the leading story today. President Emmerson Mnangagwa has capped more than 100 students at the third graduation ceremony at Gwanda State University in Philabusi this Friday.
Details from Yolanda Moyo.
Gwanda State University celebrated its third graduation ceremony this Friday at an event presided over by the institution's Chancellor, President Emmerson Mnangagwa, who conferred degrees to 126 graduates from various disciplines. The event, held at Epoch Mine campus in Philabusi, marked another significant milestone for the institution. Vice-Chancellor Professor Doreen Moyo highlighted the university's growth, noting the institution.
Happy to report that the Engineering Laboratory and Innovation Complex has reached 98% completion, and funding for the few remaining works has already been released. Funding has also been availed to commence the equipment in attracting investments and partnership with local, eliminate the need to import the product from abroad. The transformer bushing, which is currently in the process of being patented with ARIPO, holds the greatest potential for a partnership with ZESA, which can lead to meaningful employment creation.
The establishment of the learning institution in Gwanda as a standalone university has brought positive development in the surrounding communities.
Our focus on agriculture aligns with the province's reliance on this sector and demonstrates our commitment to advancing regional food security and economic stability. Some examples of successful collaborations are that between the university and the surrounding communities, where the university is providing employment to 118 people drawn from neighboring communities who are being engaged in the university's agro-innovation and industrial park and the local building brigade on a contract and permanent basis. Students work with local communities for knowledge transfer, livestock enhancement practices such as dipping, deworming, dehoning, and vaccinations.
Having started off as a college affiliated to the National University of Science and Technology, NUST, Gwanda University has 3 faculties out of the envisaged 7, with new programs set to be introduced next year. The shining star at the third graduation ceremony was Senzelo Ngwenya, who was awarded 14 accolades.
I believe ukuthi thina abantu esesilolwazi sisebenzisana lama farmers sesingakwanisa ukuthi sikhulise I department yethu animal science le nkomo ezikhona eZimbabwe ukuthi zithuthuke, even I-headbook yethu eZimbabwe ikhule.
The new ways of mining they're teaching us is a very innovative way, and it increases the sustainability of mining.
The skills that we've acquired here at Gwanda State are skills that ensure that us as the young people, we actually support the President's vision of Vision 2030.
Gwanda State University specializes in animal science, engineering, and environmental sciences, driven by the heritage-based educational 5.0 philosophy. Hilandmo, ZBC News, in Siza District.
The Geopomona Waste-to-Energy project is courting international interest, with Zambia being the latest country to seek partnership in the waste management initiative.
The interest in the waste-to-energy project confirms Geopomona's growing significance as a model to manage waste in the region, with the Zambian ambassador to Zimbabwe, His Excellency Derek Livune, stating his country's interest to replicate the initiative.
We have been walking around here, minimized smells, and I think the major smells were there where they were trying to pick up some of the waste that is covered as a way of operation. But we have seen that with the modern ways of managing waste, the environments can be made safer. And this is what we can learn and do in many areas of our jurisdiction to ensure that our areas are safer to live in, so that we can reduce even on disease and public health issues.
GeoPomona Executive Chairperson Dr. Dilish Ngwaya highlighted their preparedness to collaborate with other nations on the project.
As you see, we receive visitors from different countries in the region. This shows that positive work which we are doing here at GeoPomona Waste Management, that the other countries are learning from us, from our new technology of waste management. And to us as GeoPomona, we are very grateful with the visit of these countries to come and learn from us on terms of waste management.
Earlier this week, the Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Eswatini, Russell Dlamini, and Lesotho's Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Finance, Ntwateng Lebona, were at the site to appreciate the model, while European Union Ambassador to Zimbabwe, Joost Kitchman, also toured the facility this week. Owen Mandova, ZBC News, Harare.
The Agricultural Marketing Authority has joined forces with the Zimbabwe Republic Police in a crackdown meant to plug the abuse of inputs being distributed under the Presidential Input Scheme. Tendai Mnengwa gives us more details.
The distribution of presidential cotton inputs is progressing well, with the Grain Marketing Board GMB calling on farmers registered under the new biometric data system to collect seed and fertilizer at designated points across the country.
This year, we are already on cotton seeds, 62%, and on compound arrow, we are on 45%. We believe that we'll be able to complete the distribution before end of this month.
To curb leakages and side marketing of imports, the Agricultural Marketing Authority AMA has introduced a biometric data system.
This is a welcome development in that we are going to fight side marketing right from the beginning. And what is more important about it is that COTCO has managed to select and group farmers according to their performance. The gold class, who gets more inputs, the silver class, and the last group. So doing so will enable to track the good farmers who are performing very well and who are also going to produce very well. And at the end of the day, production is going to be very high.
Dubbed the white gold, the cash crop is a source of livelihood to over 420,000 smallholder farmers across the country. Tendai Mnengwa, ZBC News, Harare.
The First Lady, Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa, led a road safety awareness walkathon in Mashonaland East this Friday as part of efforts to address road traffic accidents.
The statistics showed that many lives are lost on the roads during the festive season every year, which prompted the First Lady, Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa, to roll out a safety awareness campaign dubbed the First Lady's Road Safety Walkathon in Mashonaland East Province this Friday. The move saw Amai Mnangagwa holding a 5-kilometer walkathon to Marondera toll gate to raise awareness on road safety and to mark the World Day of Remembrance for road traffic victims. Dr. Mnangagwa was in the company of various diplomats from embassies of Malawi, Kenya, Angola, Indonesia, Ghana, Rwanda, Sudan, Nicaragua, Russia, Nigeria, Botswana, Palestine, and South Korea. The diplomats' spouses and their staff members were also present. The event was oversubscribed with government ministers, transport associations, transport operators, drivers, and members of the community also in attendance. The event, which was held in conjunction with the Traffic Safety Council of Zimbabwe and the Zimbabwe Republic Police, was launched as a safety awareness campaign in the run-up to Christmas and New Year holidays that are associated with traveling. This is not the first time the First Lady has embarked on such an initiative. Amai Mnangagwa, a hands-on person with a passion to see the country accident-free, braved the scorching heat, embarking on a 5-kilometer walk to Marondera toll gate, where she interacted with motorists and travelers, stressing the need for safety. She also rallied passengers to discourage drivers from speeding and to refuse boarding overloaded vehicles.
tisingangotaura nyaya yekisimusi chete asi nyaya yeupenyu kana ine upenyu hwakakosha. Kuona ndichifamba kudai upenyu wandiri kuti husaparara nenzira isiriyo, nenzira yekuti Mwari vanenge vasati vati zvaita. Nai imimi kana makatakurwa muno mubhazi musavata hope. Tarisai kuti driver haana kambwa here, tarisai kuti driver haasi pafoni here. Mune mvumo munobvumidzwa kufamba kuenda kuna driver kunomuti speed yako is too much.
Dr. Mnangagwa also interacted with haulage truck drivers, imploring them to exercise caution on the road. After the walkathon, Ame Mnangagwa went on to address the gathering, where she urged transporters to take extra care to ensure people's lives entrusted in their hands are not lost through recklessness. She spoke at length about accident prevention and said traffic crashes are preventable since they are mostly caused by human error.
While we appreciate our concerted efforts towards the reduction of road traffic accidents, it is my well-considered view that we can do more. I understand that there is too much work and all our hands are needed on the deck. It is for this reason that I am here today, Minister, to take part in this walkathon and commemoration of the International Day of Remembrance of Accident Victims. Road safety is a major public health and development issue that affects millions of people around the world. According to the World Health Organization, more than 1.3 million people die each year as a result of road traffic crashes. Our major concern is that fact that 94% of these road traffic crashes are caused by human error, which checks a form of drunk driving, cell phone use while driving, speeding, overtaking errors, and overloading, as indicated by the United Nations report of 2019. Allow me to once again remind you that road safety is everybody's responsibility, and therefore we must all become more responsible road users. As we commemorate this day, my present call is for us to work together on this serious matter.
The First Lady added that the loss of lives was painful and road users needed to take it upon themselves to avoid sudden, violent, tragic deaths through accidents. The First Lady also thanked diplomats for their involvement in the exercise. She added that road safety is everyone's responsibility.
Ndinoda kutora nguva ino kukumbira vatyairi kuti tiite zvinokwanisika kuti tichengete upenyu. Saka kana maona tichifamba tichitaura nadhiraivha wega wega, kumubvunza kuti nekumuyeuchidza kuti the people that you are carrying, their lives are in your hands. What are you thinking and what are you doing about it? Ndataura zvikuru ndichiti madzimai vatyairi namatirai varume venyu vasati vabuda kunogara pachigaro ichocho. Machechi muri pano, ngatinamatirei madrivers aya. We are now nearing the festive season. Imi vanotakurwa ndimi mune nyaya yakakura, nasi ndati chitsurai driver na conductor.
Dr. Mnangagwa also held an interactive session with drivers, inquiring from them the causes of road accidents.
Wese anonzi mutyairi akatora chitanda ngatichinjei attitude yedu kana takatarisa vanhu. Todhiraivhirawo vamwe, mumwe akaita mistake gara wacho wegadzisa uri iwewe, nekuti upenyu hauna chance yechipiri, unongorarama kamwe chete, tese tichiri kuda kurarama. Saka ngatibatsiranei pamugwagwa, tishandure attitude yedu pese patinenge tiri. Safety yeumwe iri mumaoko mako.
Ini tinokurudzirawo madrivers anoshanda nawo kuti ngatisamwei zvinodhaka, ngatisamhanyei. Kwatiri kuenda tinongosvika nenguva, hapana kunzi kumhanya ndiko kusvika.
Minister of Transport and Infrastructure Development, Honorable Felix Mona, highlighted some initiatives the ministry is putting in place to address the menace of road traffic accidents. He also announced the appointment of Dr. Mnangagwa as the patron for road safety, owing to an unquestionable passion for the safety of people on the roads.
Viki tinosvika tichavatarasirwa nevanhu vashanu nevanhu 10 zvinovabata vanonzwa kudzamirwa saka vari mashoko avakamisikidza vakati ndikuda kuona kutanga festive season ino uchatanga hangu unogona ngosina maambulensi amati maunganidza akati wandei asi kuda kuona kuti pamatogesi ega ega pamira ambulensi inotakura vanhu vanenge vaita tsaona mumugwagwa iwoyo havana kuperera ipapo vakabva vati pawavatakura chironga nemaparasitetawo ako kuti vane wadi inozogamuchira vanhu vabva mutsaona idzodzo.
Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Mashonaland East Province, Senator Apollonia Mderengwi, commended Amai for the initiative meant to save lives, especially during the forthcoming festive season.
Amai venyika vasiya mabasa avo kuti regai ndiende parodi ndinochema ndinotaura nemhuri kuti tangatiteedzere mitemo yeparodi. Your Excellency, I want to thank you for coming to Mashist.
Traditional chiefs, transport operators, church leaders and accident survivor Senator Anna Shiri made their solidarity messages.
Kuti mota dzinenge dzakanaka asi vatyairi. Saka mutyairi akauya nokuti aimhanya akasvikopinda mushedhi makava makazara vanhu. Takatika zvakadaro zvokuti ini ndakazomukawo nenyasha ndava kuchipatara saka muchiona ndichitenda Mwari kuti zuva roga roga randakapuwa naMwari ndinoda kushanda kuti upenyu hwevamwe vari zvandiri vakaremara husanduke husimudzirwe.
Rwandan ambassador to Zimbabwe, His Excellency James Musoni, held a MICE initiative.
We appreciate the initiative and the hard-working First Lady, Her Excellency, has put in this. And also thank the Ministry of Transport for their participation. But what the message is clear here, that we need responsiveness in terms of driving, because we want safety first. So drivers have to be responsible, but also passengers have to be responsible. When they see a driver going out of the way, they should stop him.
Kenyan ambassador to Zimbabwe, Her Excellency Stella Munyi, marveled at Dr. Mnangagwa's initiative meant to save lives.
We are grateful for the invitation by the First Lady. We know that we are all affected by the road transport accidents that occur. As we were moving on, I tried to talk to some of the drivers who are in the cars as well as the pedestrians that I got, including the heavy traffic, the heavy commercial vehicles, that informing them actually we are supporting the First Lady in this activity, the basis being that we are all road users, whether we are the diplomatic corps or whether we are the general public, and we are all affected.
The same sentiments were echoed by Ethiopian ambassador to Zimbabwe, His Excellency Rashid Mohammed Abdulwahid, and Ghanaian ambassador to Zimbabwe, His Excellency Alexander Grant Trakwa.
The First Lady needs to be highly appreciated for her taking the responsibility to come and sensitize drivers so that people should not be victims of misbehavior of some of the drivers. So it is a very important initiative, and this should not stop here. It has to be a continuous initiation.
Here in Zimbabwe, we are all living here, and it is important for us to make sure that there is discipline on our roads to protect lives. Almost every individual in Zimbabwe has suffered in one way or the other from a road accident.
The First Lady's oversubscribed initiative follows the realization that road traffic accidents in Zimbabwe mostly occur during the festive season. Annual road crash statistics from the Traffic Safety Council of Zimbabwe show that over 8,000 accidents were recorded between November and December last year, leaving 2,099 people dead and nearly 10,000 people injured. Colette Msanyera, ZBC News, Burumonzi.
Meanwhile, the Chief Secretary to the President and Cabinet, directors and all staff members in the Office of the President and Cabinet express hearty congratulations to the First Lady of Zimbabwe, Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa, for attaining a Doctor of Philosophy in Tourism and Hospitality Management. This well-earned qualification will, without doubt, add even greater weight to her world-famed humanitarian work, which entails strong administrative and nutritional dimensions. Besides, the doctoral qualification will definitely inspire the girl child and women in general to aim for the highest in academic excellence. We in the Office of the President and Cabinet feel challenged and inspired to better our educational standards, always for more competent performance in our duties in the unrelenting drive towards the fulfillment of Vision 2030. A hearty congratulations to you, our First Lady, to His Excellency, the President, Dr. E.D. Mnangagwa, and to the rest of the Mnangagwa family who stood by her as she burned the midnight oil until her successful graduation.
And now to Switzerland, where the United Nations International Conference on Sanctions, Business and Human Rights ended this Friday in Geneva, with the international community expressing concern over the restrictive measures. Peter Chivima has more.
The two-day International Conference on Sanctions, Business and Human Rights came to an end with legal and academics proffering solutions on overcoming the shackles. Outlining Zimbabwe's position, Midland State University Pro-Vice-Chancellor Infrastructure and Campus Development, Dr. Gift Manyatera, and academic Dr. Masimba Mavaza highlighted the devastating effects of economic sanctions on Zimbabwe's economy.
This forum was also meant to interrogate the proposed United Nations guiding principles on sanctions, business and human rights. And these principles are very important insofar as they relate to the impact that unilateral coercive measures have on sanctioned countries. We are a sanctioned country and we have an interest to ensure that we give inputs into the content of the proposed UN guiding principles on sanctions, business and human rights.
As Zimbabwe, we are suffering not because we are evil, but because we fought the two evils and we gave people back their land. So the land redistribution is the most cause why we as Zimbabweans are under sanctions. Now, the so-called targeted sanctions, it's a farce. It's another name of justifying witchcraft, justifying evil. One, you cannot say you are targeting a head of a bull with a gun and expect the bull to live. Once you attack the head of the state, the whole state suffers.
Zimbabwe's head of delegation and the Minister of Justice, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs, Honorable Ziyambi, emphasized the urgency of the matter.
We have seen NGOs participating, sharing their experiences, how they work in countries that have unilateral coercive measures. And what we have picked is actually the work of the humanitarian work is actually very difficult in countries that have unilateral coercive measures. Trying to access the funding is difficult because of also over-compliance. Transferring those funds to the countries is also difficult. So basically the same problems that we have been experiencing, we are beginning to see that the NGOs are also giving their experiences to say that in doing their humanitarian work, they are facing the same problems, which means these unilateral coercive measures are not targeted because NGOs are saying our work to do humanitarian work is also affected by the measures that would have been put in place.
Co-organized by the Special Rapporteur on the negative impact of unilateral coercive measures on the enjoyment of human rights, Professor Alena Doan and a group of friends in defense of the Charter of the United Nations, the conference united diverse stakeholders in addressing the complexities surrounding the illegal sanctions. Peter Chivima, ZBC News, Geneva.
Zimbabwe is targeting to increase export earnings from Indonesia through enhanced cooperation in agriculture, mining and health. More details in the upcoming report.
Indonesia's top envoy to Zimbabwe, Ambassador Dewa Sastrowan, says his country is committed to exploring further trade and investment opportunities in Zimbabwe. He was speaking at the Indonesia National Day commemorations in Harare this Thursday.
Indonesia look forward to exploring further investment and trade cooperation opportunities with Zimbabwe in the near future, particularly in the field of agriculture, mining, and infrastructure. This collaboration aims at not only to strengthen our bilateral relationship, but also to facilitate cooperation of both countries in penetrating the African market through the Africa Continent Free Trade Agreement. Rigayan diti Indonesia icaramba iri mudiatzani webudiriro we Zimbabwe. Uye Indonesia icaramba ichi tisigara budiriro ye Zimbabwe mukwita horongwe huayo hikwaku simudzira nyika National Development Strategy.
Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Trade, Ambassador Albert Chimbindi, echoed the same sentiment, saying Zimbabwe is equally determined to enhance trade ties with Indonesia.
Cooperation between our two countries spans across various sectors of the economy and has been mutually beneficial. Collaboration in the education sector has enhanced human capital development, thereby catalyzing Zimbabwe's National Development Strategy and Vision 2030. Bilateral trade in agricultural products has immense potential, and therefore, as you rightly pointed out, it needs to be supported by a legal framework of cooperation. Zimbabwe's agricultural products have found a niche in the Indonesian market, albeit through third parties. It is therefore imperative that we finalize the Memorandum of Understanding on cooperation in the field of agriculture, as well as conclude a preferential trade agreement to facilitate direct trade and optimize mutual benefits.
This comes after Zimbabwe participated at the second Indonesia-Africa Forum, where Memoranda of Understanding on Cooperation in Health and Pharmaceuticals were signed. The Second Republic is prioritizing economic diplomacy as a key driver of sustainable economic development. Wellington Makonese, ZBC News, Harare.
Zimbabwe's agenda to upgrade its ports of entry is paying dividends after a recent survey indicated improved efficiency at the Chirundu one-stop border post.
Findings of the Chirundu One-Stop Border Post OSBP End-Line Time Management Survey TMS launched this Friday review major milestones in Zimbabwe's efforts of enhancing trade facilitation in the Southern African Development Community SADC region and beyond, with a notable progress such as smooth operations, easing of congestion, and saving time for traders. Effective collaboration between Zimbabwe and Zambia is cited critical in boosting trade volumes.
There's many findings, pros and cons, and it is some parts we are very much encouraged to see the achievement out of the comparing the initial report. And but also there are the challenges still there.
While the report also notes challenges such as an increase in processing time due to logistical constraints, government is reaffirming commitment to mobilizing more financial resources.
What we aim to see is seamless movement of people and goods on our border posts. And what we have seen with this time measurement series report that has been presented, it has recorded significant improvements in the processes of ensuring people and goods move seamlessly across the border post.
As the report states that effective border management is pivotal for trade facilitation, revenue collection authorities are upbeat over measures to stamp out the smuggling of goods.
It will give us an insight when in areas of improvement or areas where we don't meet what we have promised to the nation, and we will definitely work on those areas as per the recommendations of the technical working group.
Trade experts consider the Chirundu One-Stop Border Post as an important conduit for economic and social development for the Southern African Development Community SADC. Stanley James, ZBC News, Harare.
Zimbabwe has pledged to drive the competence-based education system, which is the bedrock of a sustainable economy, with investment on the youth at the center of the agenda. This came out at the Tel1 Center for Learning 9th graduation ceremony, where 701 students were conferred with diplomas and degrees.
The efficacy of Zimbabwe's tertiary education has been recognized across the globe, with the Science, Technology and Innovation cluster taking the lead. This comes after Chikwiriza Diza came first at the Hawaii Leap Summit and third at the Hawaii Seeds from the Future in China. The exploits have inspired other Zimbabwean students.
I can't explain how excited I am. This program, it has a lot of opportunities, and I'm really grateful that I managed to finish it, and I get to reap the benefits of those opportunities.
I'm hoping to improve the technical or technological economy of Zimbabwe through implementing machine learning, AI, because one of my projects actually was on data science, machine learning.
Tel1 Center for Learning says investment in the telecommunications sector will drive the country's development agenda.
The Center for Learning programs are competence-based and offer practical training, and thus fostering a new era of critical thinking, creativity, innovation and industrialization to help Zimbabwe grow.
Government has challenged all institutions of higher learning to embrace development-oriented education.
The government of Zimbabwe launched the Heritage-Based Education 5.0 model, which is ushering into a new era of learning, innovation and creativity. As we embrace the concept of Education 5.0, we recognize that education must evolve beyond traditional teaching methods. President, His Excellency, our President, Dr. Idi Mnangagwa, has this vision, Education 5.0, where he emphasized that we need to employ on a transformative approach to education in Zimbabwe.
The graduates at the SADC Certified Center completed diplomas in telecommunications engineering, software engineering, data science, computer networking, cybersecurity, digital marketing, business analytics, financial engineering. A good number completed the postgraduate diploma in digital marketing and business analytics. This comes after President Mnangagwa reviewed the National ICT Policy, the Smart Zimbabwe 2030 Master Plan and the National Broadband Plan, which are in line with the National Development Strategy, with the aim to ensure access to affordable, fast and safe digital technologies for all. Wellington Makonese, ZBC News, Harare.
And in a related report, more than 60 defense and security officers graduated at a ceremony held at the Zimbabwe Staff College in Harare this Friday.
At a time of heightened global conflict, the Zimbabwe National Defense University is committed to providing solutions, fostering peace and unity in the region through advanced training courses. This came out at the 16th graduation ceremony of the Diploma in Defense and Security Studies in Harare.
Today's graduation, therefore, marks an important milestone for the ZNDU in its transformation trajectory, which seeks to establish a solid academic foundation in defense and security studies. Through its strategic plan and compulsory requirements by the Zimbabwe Council for Higher Education, the university has organized its intellectual trajectory to embrace high academic standards which are underpinned by its values, namely Zimbabwe First, Pan-Africanism, Ubuntu, leadership, strategic thinking, knowledge-driven, and liberation ethos.
Minister of Defense Honorable Opam Chingurikashiri was guest of honor at the event, said the country is committed to contributing towards global peace and security.
It is indeed pleasing to note the cooperation that ZDF has with allied forces in the SADC region and the African continent. This is particularly important given the requirement for our defense forces to remain well positioned to address the global regional challenges that continue to demand not only critical thinking, but also creativity, being strategic and innovative in mind. To confront contemporary and emerging security threats, ZDF has continued to invest in training.
For the students, it was a time of jubilation as they prepared to contribute to development of the country.
The course shaped our intellectual growth through empowering us to envision a future where knowledge serves as a tool for leadership in defense and security.
Solid academic foundation and defense and security studies, with the college set to offer a degree in the same field to come up with practical solutions for emerging global security challenges. Patience Nyagato, SABC News, Harare.
The curtain has come down on the 29th session of the United Nations Climate Change Conference. That's COP29 in Baku, Azerbaijan, without consensus on climate funding commitment. We get more details in the upcoming report.
As the climate conference COP29 here in Baku draws to a close, developing and developed countries remain divided over climate finance and mitigation. The latest negotiating drafts of the new collective quantified goal for climate finance mitigation work program, Article 6, addressing the carbon market and other policy frameworks, which were released early this morning, ended in a stalemate. Some of the delegates believe it is an intentional effort by the Global North to push deliberations to the next meeting in Brazil next year.
This is not the time for political games. This is a critical decade to now invest and pay the money for mitigation, for adaptation and for loss and damage.
Delegations that have arrived here have a very clear brief. They need to secure the $1 trillion.
For them supporting finance and the MCQG, we are not surprised that it will be like this because it's obvious that their interest is profit and not humanity.
Zimbabwe's head of delegation, Dr. Stembiso Nyoni, who is also the Minister of Environment, Climate and Wildlife, stressed the importance of a conclusive agreement.
We are saying we are not leaving because this is a finance COP, and we are not happy that the developed countries don't want to give a figure. Whether this COP agrees on finance or leaves certain things hanging, but I think as Zimbabwe, there's something that we are taking home as a group that we could implement even on our own. What is good is that our president has shown us that when we have a program, when there is a national vision, we implement it with or without the outside assistance.
Although the talks are scheduled to conclude this Friday, the new document has revealed that there are some unresolved statements and tasks, and the pertinent question remains who contributes and how much. Memory Chamisa, ZBC News, Baku.
As always, you can get these and more stories from our website. That's www.zbc.co.zw. You can also find us on our social media pages. On X is at ZBC News Online. Like our Facebook page at ZBC News Online. And of course, you can always also live stream and subscribe to our YouTube channel at ZBC News Online.
And here are stories to expect in this bulletin. In business news, government focuses on value addition in the tobacco industry. Later on in sport, ZIFA officially opens its executive election nominations. Stay tuned for these and more.
Chifara,
Christmas is coming to town. Dashing through the aisles.
Wrap up the week in holiday sparkle with TM Pick and Pay's weekend winners. Brighten your weekend with real value and great savings this season. TM Pick and Pay. Real value always.
Silly to miss. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to show.
Oh, joy to the world, the Lord is Lord has done. Receive her King. Let every heart prepare him room. Rejoice and shout for joy. Rejoice and shout for joy. It's a season.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. We continue with the main news bulletin. ZANU-PF Masvingo Province has reiterated calls for President Emmerson Mnangagwa to remain in office and fulfill Vision 2030, which has seen massive development taking place across the country. Messi Martina gives us more.
The ZANU-PF leadership in Masvingo met for a provincial coordinating committee meeting this Friday, where the province was briefed on the ZANU-PF conference held in Bulawayo last month.
Tatichironga kuti tiinde kuma districts kuti tindoudza ma chairpersons akasara nama DCC akasara kuti ku conference kwakabudei kunyanya tine ma resolutions akafanana nekuti ikoko kwakatenderana kuti president vaMnangagwa varambe vari first secretary weZANU-PF uye vari president wenyika kusvika 2030 kuti vazadziso vision yavo ye2030. Isu tinovakumbira somusangano kuti ngavasvike ipapo, kana umwe unozouyawo uchazotangawo vision yakewo odarikirawo.
The sentiments were echoed by Politburo members Comrade Love Mo Matuke and Comrade John Paradza.
Inini ndofunga chinhu chiri kuconfuse vanhu. Confusion hombe inogona kuita inobva pakushaya rudo nemutungamiriri wenyika. And only debate. There's no debate. Chinotaridza kuti dhongi rambovata pamadota kuzuza muchiona dota racho. So this issue atiri kutaura yekuti yokushuvira president utongi hwakanaka nenguva refu haifanira kuva ewari to munhu anenge achida president wacho. But at the same time haumanikidzigwi kumuda. Kana usingadi sara usingamuda uchaona kuti vanomuda vakawanda kudarika vacho vanoti havari.
Chinhu chakakosha ndechekuti ngatitevere gwara remusangano weZANU-PF. Isu patiri kuti 2030 vaMnangagwa vanenge varipo, tiri kuti isusu vision yavo president ndivo vakairatidzwa naMwari ende tinoda kuinda navo vatevere vision yavo. Hatidi vanoda kuziva nhema, vanoda kuinterpreta zvisizvo kuti hazviri kunzi havadinhingi. Tinee tisingadani nokuti tese tiri muno takapiwa zvigaro navaMnangagwa.
Masvingo Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution, Honorable Ezra Chadzamira, stressed the importance of discipline and the need to support government development programs.
Nyaya dzemapresidential inputs, ma-inputs akauya asi ari kutarigwa region by region, district by district, kuti tikatarisa kumwenezi chii chinodiwa kuti chirimiwe kumwenezi. Kana ari ma-small grains ndo ari kutanga phase 1 kuti vapuwe. Takatarisira 1 million households kuti vange vachipuwa ma-inputs.
The call for President Mnangagwa to remain in office until 2030 was one of the key resolutions at the ZANU-PF conference held in Bulawayo last month. Ms. Martina, ZBC News, Masvingo.
And on that note, we cross over to our Montrose studios where we are joined by Marilyn Ngwenya, who will take us through the next couple of stories from that end. It's a good evening to you, Marilyn.
Good evening, and many thanks to you, Justin and Tariro. And it is a good evening to our viewers at home. We continue with our bulletin from our Montrose studios in Bulawayo, where small to medium enterprises have been identified as central in driving the growth of exports through value addition.
The Minister of Women Affairs, Community, Small and Medium Enterprises Development, Senator Monica Mutswangwa, has stressed the critical role of SMEs in enhancing the country's exports through value addition. She was speaking at a micro, small and medium enterprises training of trainers event in Bulawayo this Friday.
The government recognizes the substantial role played by MSMEs in driving this economic growth and sustainable development in our country. It is creating jobs, providing key ancillary services in almost all sectors of the economy. It is also driving value addition and exports growth.
Given the vital role played by SMEs in accelerating sustainable development, development partners are pivoting robust support towards the sector.
Supporting MICs and strengthening their capacities is not only about now, it is also about the future of the world, where we will entering into a context of digital economy, and there's a lot taking place that MICs and all of us can take critical roles to change this world and make this world a better place for sustainable and an inclusive course.
Small to medium-scale enterprises are critical players in economic growth, with official figures showing the sector contributes more than 60% towards the country's gross domestic product. Lisa Masuku, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
At least 15,000 vulnerable families will benefit from the Bulawayo Mayor Cheers Fund this festive season after the relaunch of the initiative this Thursday.
The fund, which is back after 4 years, has ignited the festive mood in the city of kings and queens amid revelations that it will assist vulnerable families with basic commodities.
We need to participate in community development by contributing our skills, our resources, our networks, and also our time. Because above all, that is how we rebuild and reconstruct the Zimbabwe that we envision in terms of Vision 2030.
We want our children to grow up enjoying these spaces. So whatever it takes to put it together, where we can help, where we can contribute, where we can donate, where we can volunteer, that's all we're about.
It's a good initiative. We have come here as organizations and as Bulawayo citizens to come and contribute the little that we have.
As a community, we're only as strong as the least amongst us. So it's particularly important even for the private sector and the companies to give back to the communities that we serve, because there would be no us without them.
The fund is also expected to assist the less privileged beyond the festive season.
We have revitalized the trust. We brought on new trustees to complement the existing trustees. And our intention is to expand its ambit, to go beyond just Christmas. In the course of this year, I've had many approaches from vulnerable people who are struggling to get their children's school fees paid, some ill people who've got nowhere else to turn to get critical operations done. And we, quite frankly, need a fund that we can resort to in these extreme emergencies, aside from the actual festive season.
Measures have also been put in place to ensure accountability and transparency over the use of the proceeds that will be raised through the initiative. Grace Sibanda, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
The adoption of mechanization initiatives by smallholder farmers in Chimanimani has increased agricultural productivity and improved the capacity of communal farmers to venture into value addition.
Smallholder farmers in Chimanimani who have embraced mechanization are scaling up productivity. The new machinery is coming in handy in the implementation of the Pfumvudza and Kwasa climate smart farming concept, while farmers have also ventured into animal feed, among other value addition initiatives.
This basin digger is on high demand. My farmers are going to farm basin digger
kozi rinotsera zvakanaka.
Takaona wakutorerutse ndima dzavo kubudikidza ngekuti unotsa makomba panguva shomanana. Kapfumvudza block kamwe kane makomba 1456 tinogona kupedza 1 hour 30 minutes.
Taisingochera nemapanza tichirwadziwa, but patakazwe nyaya yebesen digger iyi neprice yawo yaanotibhadharisa iprice yakanaka.
Muchini wandinawo uyo ndiri kunyanya kushandisa unonzi multi crop thresher MCT. Muchini uyu unokwanisa kupura small grains.
Chapagrinder tinoishandisa kugaya mashanga ekugadzira chikafu chemombe nekugadzira chikafu chembudzi zvese zvatinoda ipapo.
The Feed the Future Zimbabwe Mechanization and Extension Program is being implemented by the International Maize and Wheat Improvement Center, CIMIT, in partnership with the government of Zimbabwe.
The idea is to try and reduce the requirement for labor through mechanizations for our smallholder farmers. So our aim as a project or activity is to make the farmers both land and labor productive, to increase their productivity and hence to increase their incomes as they operate.
Tinema labor saving technologies ari kuita se zvakadafanana nekupura zviyo, kupura mafunde, kupura chibage, kupura koroni. Vanhu vasi kuchaita zviya zvokuponda nemaoko kushandisa zvinotore nguva.
Farmers are being assisted to be able to do primary processing of their products.
USAID Mission Director Ms. Janine Davis believes that the service provider model is a sustainable way of empowering communities.
We are not just giving people machines. They are using cash. We are helping with access to loans, to purchase machines, and then they use those same machines to benefit their communities for a fee. So they are generating their own income. And so it's activities like that that produce greater sustainability.
Several districts including Chimanimani, Mutare, Buyera, Chipinge, Bikita, Masvingo, Zaka, Chivi, Mweneze and Chiredzi are benefiting from the mechanization program, which will run until 2027 after the injection of an additional $4 million United States dollars. Kenya's Chivuje, ZBC News, Chimanimani.
And that's it from myself, Marilyn Gwenya, and the Montrose crew for tonight. Main news continues from Provincial Studios in Harare, where Justin is on standby. Justin, it's back to you.
Many thanks, Marilyn, and of course, welcome back to our Provincial Studios. Rural communities have become living testimonies of the impact of the Second Republic's development programs after benefiting from empowerment programs in line with the national vision to attain an upper middle income society by 2030. We get more from our Mashonaland Central Bureau Chief, Tapiwa Machemedze.
Munumtapa Week commemorations held at Chimbumu Primary School in Guruwe this Thursday provided an opportunity for various groups comprising youths, women and war veterans to receive agricultural inputs and fingerlings for their business ventures.
Vakatidzidzisa zvakasimba, tine pfumvudza unokwanisa kuwana gohwo rakanaka uye kurima pasina mombe. Saka tinongotenda hurumende mafertilizers avari kutipa titigokwanisa kubatsirika.
Zvatapiwa mainputs atapiwa tinobatsirikana kwete kubva mukudya sadza chete asi tinobatsirikana nezvakawanda. Zvatapiwa mbeu nemafertilizers nemishonga tinogona kuzvishandisa kuvandudza magariro edu kuburikidza nemaprojects akasiyana siyana atinogona kuita.
Mabusiness units aya takacherechedza nokuaita zviri pamutemo tichaona kuti nyaya dzekutenderera kwemari munzvimbo yatigere dzichavandudzikawo zvakare. Kureva kuti business rinenge raunzwa kuno kumusha kuti basa rifambe zvakanaka, magariro achinje, nyaya yefood nutrition inge ichivandudzwa.
The commemorations are a culmination of collaboration between government ministries tasked with facilitating broad-based empowerment in the country.
Kuno kuMashonaland Central kana takuvhota 100% asi pa GDP apa tinenge tatisare. Saka ndiri kutenda mukoko wedu mukuru nokuti mauya nemaprogramu ebudiriro, maprogramu edevelopment. tofanira kuti kana takunovhota kana iri 100% development ngaive kuno kwa 100%.
Program ino ndema youth, ndema dzimai, ndeana baba, ndeana sekuru, zvanzi leaving no one and no place behind.
Government is prioritizing empowerment of youths through funding mechanisms supported under Empower Bank. Tapiwa Machemedze, ZBC News, Kuruve.
The government has pledged its commitment to ensuring that children living with disability are accorded equal opportunities to realize their full potential. More details in the next report.
Pupils at Margaret Hugo School for the Blind, also known as Kapota, were treated to an early Christmas party this Friday as they received gifts in a heartwarming gesture.
Sevana vekapa Kapota tinofara chose nezvataitirwa. Noda kuti tinoona kuti tinodiwawo.
Tiri kufara nhasi tatengerwa chikafu, tikatengerwa hembe dzekupfeka.
The Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Information, Publicity and Broadcasting Services, Mr. Nick Mangwana, was the guest of honor.
Tafamba mitundu yatafamba mukaona vese ava vabva kure zvikuru vamwe vatoya nendege vachibhururuka vauya kuzoungana nemi nokutandara nemi nokuti iwe wakakosha. Iye zvino tinenge tina mamusicians vaunganidzwa vauti vatinda teine tine zvakawanda zviri kuitika nesuwo tatopfekawo hanzu dzinoti iwe wakakosha. Hakuna anofana kusara kumashure. Ava vamunoona vakagara kumberi ava chikunhu chikuru chavaita ndechekuti patinenge tiri kudzimba dzedu dzimwe nguva tinokanganwa asi nhasi vatirangaridza kuti iwe.
Organizers of the event pledged to assist the less privileged.
As a family and friends, tiso just a smile on their faces. Tongofara utese nokuti vana aiwa vakakosha vanokanganiwa ne vamwe asaiwa vakatikoshera.
Margaret Hugo School for the Blind is at the forefront in ensuring empowerment of children with disability through access to education and skills development. Ms. Martina, ZBC News, Mashingo.
Well, stay tuned for business news next.
Unwrap a world of entertainment with DSTV.
All right.
Wow.
It's who I am. Time for you to see the world.
The only thing that is important is happiness. That's the reason why I'm here. Wish me like.
This is where all the fun times are happening. There we go again.
Fantastic goal! Join me. Experience the magic with DSTV, your home of entertainment.
Varimi, dambudziko rezvirwere zvinorwisa zvipfuwo zvenyu rapera. Usufikile umuti oqeda imikhuhlane yamabacteria elwisa izifuyo zenyu. Terranox oxytetracycline solid powder ndivasawira vemurimi wese anofuya mombe, huku, waine nguruve. Valimi, udubo lokufelwa yizifuyo ngemikhuhlane soluphelile ngeTerranox. Inorwisa zvirwere zvemabacteria muzvipfuwo zvenyu ngeTerranox oxytetracycline solid powder. Inkomo, imbuzi lengulube zakho asiseyi kukhathazwa yimikhuhlane ebangelwa ngamabacteria. Terranox oxytetracycline solid powder shasha mukuraya utachiona muzvipfuwo, ingcici ekuqedeni imikhuhlane yezifuyo.
Zimbabwe, 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 trouble Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe nyika ine ukoshwa, inzwa inini papaloshwa. Uya utionere kukari pakuleki, tinenge tichitafuna hove dzine steki. Tisingakanganwe chinhoi kune makefsi mapako, nedzimba dzemawe dziri deya kumasvingo. Kona rezvo uwange national party, hapana chekumirira. Ataki.
Uchichoka kwekuyenda, nekamari kekuspenda. Zimbabwe, 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 trouble Zimbabwe. For the perfect adventure, Zimbabwe, travel Zimbabwe.
Kana makuyenda kuzambezi moyo unorwadza mukandishaisa jezi nyanga mudarazi fausguma komoyo unotozimbana wanzi nemafaro wokoyo
kuzoti chikafu chacho chinozipa tangoma veji nemagaka. Enjoy the exquisite gastronomy as you taste the Zimbabwean story. Zimbabwe, Zimbabwe, Zimbabwe. Everybody gets a go. I take Zimbabwe, 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 Zimbabwe. Travel Zimbabwe. Give me the four. Travel Zimbabwe this festive season. Zimbo.
Welcome back. Time now for business news. Government has reinforced the importance of value addition within the tobacco industry as part of efforts to go beyond the projected $1 billion United States target.
The tobacco industry is one of the anchor pillars for the country's export receipts, with the sector drawing close to $1 billion of earnings from sales recorded this year. Government is targeting to sustain the positive traction of the sector through expanding production to over 300 million kilograms by next year, while also focusing on value addition.
The value addition needs to be done locally so that we can export cigarettes. But what's happening predominantly is that tobacco is being exported in raw form. So while other countries in the world, they're enjoying our tobacco, it's good tasting tobacco, we as Zimbabweans are only benefiting a very small proportion. So we control about 6% of the world market. But so part of the transformation is the value addition, which this company, we're very fortunate and happy, and you know, it shows it's a vote of confidence to our president.
The private sector is playing a key role with a new player in the industry, unveiling a value addition line in Harare this Thursday in a move welcomed by government as a huge milestone in elevating the country's eminent status in global tobacco production.
The company's backward integration approach supports farmers while enhancing processing capabilities and ensuring that the full value of Zimbabwe's tobacco remains within our borders. This initiative resonates very well with our national aspirations of reducing reliance on raw exports and establishing Zimbabwe as a hub for high-value tobacco products, mainly for export destination. The government remains committed in its drive to foster private sector growth initiatives. Policy support to market access, the private-public partnerships model is yielding tangible benefits, as seen in the success of companies such as Swan Valley.
The industry continues to place strong focus on value addition.
Everyone told us, no, you can't manufacture it. You can't manufacture cigarettes. You've got to export the raw tobacco. Now we've got, I think, 6 different cigarette manufacturing companies in this country, with many more to come. There's also people wanting to extract nicotine from tobacco for vaping products. So this thing is really growing quickly. And I think what's most important, it's driven by the private sector.
There's a lot of tobacco in our country. 90% of it, as we all understand, leaves the country in a semi-processed fashion. We feel like we can take it all the way to cigarettes for a good return.
Authorities are looking ahead with optimism for better returns within the tobacco industry, supported by a good rainfall outlook during the summer cropping season. Owen Mandova, ZBC News, Harare.
Now in arts news, South African Amapiano sensation Kabza De Small is set to perform in Harare this Friday at a show touted to be one of the biggest music events in the country this month.
All roads lead to the Hippodrome in Braeside, Harare for the much-awaited Scorpion Kings debut Harare gig. The show features South Africa's Amapiano duo of Kabza Desmo and DJ Maporisa, with local acts including Master H, Hollyton and Tammy Moyo also part of the cast. The duo is expected to set the city ablaze with electrifying beats that have earned them fame across Africa and beyond. The much-anticipated concert promises an unforgettable fusion of local and international talent. On Saturday, theatre lovers will be treated to live performances of dance and drama at Mtanga's Hideout. Organizers of the first ever theatre arts concert are optimistic it will be a success.
Tomorrow, APAMA will be hosting about 5 dance groups. So we urge everyone to come and witness the first time ever. It's going to be massive. We really prepared well for it, and we're expecting a huge crowd because we're actually quite making a big name for ourselves right here in Zimbabwe, and things are actually happening in the arts industry.
Some of the performers include Sekuru Jambu and Junior Chipanga. Fungai Jachi, ZBC News, Harare.
On that note, we take a break, but when we come back, we'll be giving you the sports news. Stay tuned.
Get your business ready for the festive season with ZBC. Join us for the ZBC Mega Festive Business Promotion running from the 1st of November of 2024 all the way to January 31 of 2025. Enjoy an incredible cash discount of over 50% across all ZBC platforms. This is your opportunity to make your business shine. So celebrate with ZBC and watch your business thrive by simply booking your spot right now. For more information, call Tandeka on 0719 594 426 or Martha on 0719 593 532 or Precious on 0719 593 510 or email tandeka.mubi@zbc.co.zw. Terms and conditions apply.
Oh, joy to the world, the Lord is Lord has come. Receive her King. Let every heart prepare him room. Rejoice and shout for joy. Rejoice and shout for joy. It's a season.
Want to elevate your entertainment? Then add Showmax to your DSTV subscription at a discount. Showmax is not a TV channel. It's an on-demand video streaming service on showmax.com. To add Showmax to your DSTV subscription, simply use the My DSTV app. Select Add Showmax. The app screen will display the discount you qualify for. Now you can enjoy exclusive shows and movies you won't find anywhere else. Add Showmax to elevate your entertainment.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. We now give you the sports news. The much-awaited Zimbabwe Football Association ZIFA elections roadmap is now clear after the nomination court opened this Friday. The opening of nominations for the ZIFA Executive Committee is another step towards the much-anticipated elections set for the 25th of January next year. The elections will be based on the new ZIFA constitution, which was adopted last month. The Electoral Committee will announce the names of successful candidates after a verification as well as integrity test, and nominations close on the 11th of December.
And continuing with sport, the battle for survival takes center stage in the last weekend of the 2024 Kasolaga Premier Soccer League season as bottom-placed Bikita Minerals and Wange face off this Saturday. Equally troubled Bulawayo Chiefs will be hoping for the best when they travel to Mutare for a date against Manica Diamonds.
The future of Wange, Bikita Minerals and Bulawayo Chiefs hangs by a thread as they prepare for what could potentially be their last dance in the top flight league this weekend. One thing is, however, certain is either Wange or Bikita Minerals will go down. The two teams could still sink if they set off a draw or Bulawayo Chiefs collect 3 points away to Manica Diamonds. Ahead of their clash at Wazanai Stadium in Shamba this Saturday, Wange are 16th with 35 points and have a goal difference of -16, while Bikita Minerals have the same number of points with a goal difference of -11. A draw in their match will see the two teams going down as they will match Bulawayo Chiefs' points tally but will be relegated due to inferior goal difference. Bulawayo Chiefs has a chance to script another fairy tale survival as they beat Manica Diamonds at Sakuva Stadium on the same day. A win for Chiefs will guarantee survival regardless of the result at Wazanai. It is, however, easier said than done as a loss could be fatal if there is a winner in the match pitting Bikita Minerals and Wange. ZBC Kariba have survived but they have a chance to water down Simba Bora's coronation when the two sides clash at Nyamungo Stadium this Saturday. Simba will be crowned champions after their match in a bizarre choice of venue by the PSL for a team that was rallied to victory by their fans in Shamba. It would have been befitting to hand over the trophy to Simba Bora in their last home match at Wazanai Stadium as they had already wrapped up the title, but strange things happen in Zimbabwean football. In other matches, Greenfield take on Dynamos in Chisumbanje, FC Platinum host one in a Midlands derby, while Herentals dead chicken in at Rufaro Stadium. Relegated Areno Movers and Cheguti Pirates clash at Luveve Stadium in a dead rubber. On Sunday, Highlanders host Yada, while Caps United tackle former champions Ngeze Platinum Stars. Lawrence Tusira, ZBC News, Harare.
Bulawayo is ready to host the one-day international series between Zimbabwe and Pakistan, which gets underway this Sunday. The visitors take to the field for training this Friday.
The stage is set for the white ball ODI series between the Chevrons and Pakistan, which begins this Sunday. ZBC News caught up with the Pakistan national cricket team at their training session.
The preparation is going good so far because we have been playing white ball for the past 1 month. So we have been in Australia as well. We have done pretty well in the ODI series against Australia. So we are pretty confident about about the preparations and about our team. So we got good 2 days of preparation here. Mohammad Rizwan, wicketkeeper, he's like captaining the team. So he has done well in the Australia series ODI. So yeah, we are hoping for the same here. T20s is Salman Aga. He's a new captain. So he will captain in the T20Is. Yeah.
Pakistan last played at Queen's Sports Club in 2018. Mohammad Rizwan is set to lead the team in the ODIs, while Salman Ali Aga will be the captain in the T20 encounters scheduled for the first week of next month at the same venue. Joining the team for tour are seasoned Ahmed Daniel, Haris Rauf, Hasebullah, Mohammed Hasnain and Tayyab Tahi. Grace Sibanda, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
In that report, keeping our look at sport. Next, the weather.
Good evening, viewers, and thank you for joining us in today's weather report and focus. My name is Baba Maketa. It was sunny and hot throughout the country, though with some patches of thunder showers over the Manicaland areas. And going to the next week, we're expecting a hot spell starting tomorrow, and this should start from the western part of the country, that is from Matabeleland South as well as Matabeleland North. Now, looking at our forecast in detail, we're expecting a cloud band to drift into the country from the west and to start sweeping the country from tomorrow and cause some thunderstorms over the western part of the country, that is over Matabeleland South as well as Matabeleland North and Bulawayo Metropolitan Province. By Sunday, the cloud system should be covering the whole country, and Monday should maintain the status of Sunday. That is, thunderstorms are expected on Monday throughout the country, and the same should be on Tuesday as well as Wednesday. Now, looking at our temperatures, we're expecting the minimums to be from 18 degrees Celsius, that is over the highlands, up to 26 degrees Celsius over the valleys. In terms of our maximums, 40 and 41 over the Save and Zambezi valleys, and the rest should be between 31 and 37 degrees Celsius. Now for our focus in detail, Bulawayo is expected to be partly cloudy on Saturday and Sunday, but cloudy from Monday up to Friday. In Matobo, partly cloudy conditions from Saturday and Sunday, but should be wet from Monday up to the end of the week. Gwanda, partly cloudy conditions are expected for the whole focus week. Lupani, cloudy with some rain for the whole week. Victoria Falls should be cloudy and raining from Saturday up to Friday. In Gweru, cloudy conditions are expected throughout the forecast week. Kwekwe, again, cloudy conditions are expected from Monday up to Friday. In Kadoma, the weekend should be partly sunny, but windy from Monday up to Friday. Chinoi, partly cloudy conditions with some rain, especially from Monday up to Friday. Harare, partly cloudy conditions, but we should expect some rain in Harare from Sunday up to Friday. Kariba, partly cloudy conditions with some rains from Sunday up to Friday, and this should be heavier, especially on Wednesday and Thursday. Mashingo should be partly cloudy and some chances of rain, especially from Wednesday up to Friday. Bindura, partly cloudy and raining from Monday up to Friday again. Marondra, the same situation is expected, partly cloudy from Saturday up to Sunday, but cloudy and raining from Monday up to Friday. Nyanga, partly cloudy from Saturday up to Monday, and Tuesday up to Friday, it should be raining. Now Zimbabwe, that is all we had from the weather desk. Enjoy the rest of your viewing.
And on that note, that brings us to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at Pocket Hill Studios and our Montrose team, it's a good night.
Good night.